Hello, YouTube. This is Bub's Comics coming at you with the No Faces Comic Chat, and we are live, and we're doing kind of a different thing tonight. We're just going to have something of a free-for-all. We have a couple of topics we'll go over, but really, I just wanted to invite everybody over and have a nice little group thing.
Thing?
And just past guests that we've had before, invited to come back and share as much time as they can with us tonight, and go over some things that we're thankful for. In America, we've got Thanksgiving this week, so this will be our Thanksgiving show, and we're going to go around and say hello. So first we have Klaus, Geeky GMT. Say hello.
Hey everybody, how are you all doing?
And next we have with us, as always, DS Comics, showing us some horrific and terrific titles. Say hi, DS.
What's up, everyone?
Nice. And we've got another mate from across the pond here. We got JPL Flash showing off the corner that his girlfriend sticks him in whenever he's being bad.
Hello, everyone.
Wavy.
The hand.
And with us, as always, and what would we do without him? Someday we hope to find out. We've got Roger Metarog. Say hello.
Greetings, everyone. Great to be here.
Well, we've got a star-studded event tonight. Glad you could all make it. And in the chat, my chat loads slow. Can someone always? I know Roger, you're pretty good at it. Who we got in the chat tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty slow. I only see Gray Man other than the guests here. So
Okay.
Just one right now.
And
Maybe everybody's out doing maybe everybody in America's getting their Thanksgiving dinner groceries, and it's too
I'm
late
just checking to see if any of the big dogs are running live chats like Reggie or Bueller or anything, but I think we're good. I think it's just us. So
Simon is here now. Hey, Simon.
Yeah,
Simon's always here. What's up, man?
Well, perhaps the listening fire version of intelligent one for that. Well, in any case, we'll get rolling. Let's see what we got here. We have first topic we're thankful for.
You're breaking up a little bit on this.
Yeah, Bub, you're not coming in so great there. You're breaking up a little bit.
You sound like Max Headroom.
Oh,
Max
sorry. Headroom.
That's a blast from the past there, right?
Now?
Yeah, that's better.
No.
A little better.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay. Well, let's say this.
No.
It's not everyone can hear everyone. It breaks play. So we'll just keep rolling. So let's see. We have, what was our first chat? Our first time. Well, first of all, who are we tonight? Anybody remember?
Something mega chat. Mega Man? Are we Mega Man chat or something?
The anyway we can get it
anything
collectors?
goes crew or something like that.
Oh, there it is. Any way we can get it, comic collectors.
There you go.
All right.
The any way we can get it, comic collectors. And I think that probably describes us all in some way. Because, let's see, we've got, everybody hear me all right?
No, you're breaking up a pretty good bit. It's in and out.
You break up right at the beginning, you break up, and then we can sometimes hear you afterwards.
Yeah, we're going to have to bump him out of his own chat here.
Yeah. Are you sure the white filter's not on there, Bub? Because that's what it sounds like.
Let's go ahead.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll start with Roger because that should give me about 30 minutes to get my audio working.
Go with the question. I didn't hear a question.
What do we learn this year? What have you?
Oh man, that's going to take more than half an hour.
I'm hoping you can trim it down for us.
Jeez, half an hour for everything I've learned this year, man. That's I'm not saying I'm the most learned man, but oh, okay. Oh well, all right. Because I was going to start, philosophically, but okay.
The important comic.
I heard comic in there somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I think I can run with this, Bub. I think go find a voice. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Poor Bub. This is like the worst possible scenario for him. He can't. Nobody can hear him. That's terrible. Well, yeah, right. I mean, Bob not being heard is that's death. +1, right? Well, this year, a couple things that when you say learned, obviously life is a constant learning experience, right? That's nothing new. That's nothing wise. That's nothing, grandiose. That's just the way it is. But this year, if it was this year that he asked us, I learned this year, and here,
yes.
I've learned that that you can't be a lone ranger when it comes to trying to achieve your comic goals at a reasonable price. Because I found that if through working and through connections and through trying to pick the brain of other collectors, that I have really seen many more opportunity avenues to advance my collection than ever before. So, for example, eBay is always like it's like the catch-all. That's like when no avenues to eBay, something there that's there and available, right? That's the low-hanging fruit of. But to me, that is the last option, because I've had just horrendous experiences on eBay, and I'm not going to go in, but it is part of learned, right? I mean, that's the question. So, and I'm glad Deadpool 2323 is in the chat, and he just says, "I learned the value of friendship and Secret Wars 8." And if you're not sure what he's referring to, watch his video from I think about a week ago, where I think it says November Haul. If I'm is that right? Deadpool 2323. I think it's your November Haul video, and which he found, I think 20 something Star Wars Secret Wars 8, and all in pretty much near mint condition. And again, how did he find that? It wasn't through eBay. It was locally. We saw a picture online of a couple Secret Wars 8. He was the first one there. He got in early. He started conversation with the man, and he just struck gold. And the only reason I'm bringing up that example is that is how I've learned to be a collector, and at a reason, and get things at a reasonable price. Because on eBay, I'm paying. You're always paying top dollar because you're competing with everybody in the whole world, essentially. But when you buy locally, it's a much smaller pool of collectors that you have to deal with. And though they may not have as exactly what you're looking for, they do have a lot of prime comics, and not every single week, but eventually you will score if you put in the work. And I did a video many months back about about hints about how to find comics locally, and I follow those rules. You do your research, you look for other types of collectibles that are associated, and you call beforehand, or you get there early. And I've learned that if you do that you can grow your collection for pennies on the dollar. And if you see my videos and you know me, I don't pay top dollar for comics. I don't believe in doing that. That's just not the way I roll, and never has been. And my collection of 10,000, I can say I've paid pretty much zero for it. When I think about what I've sold, and how much and how I've acquired them. Some of them by my labor, but as far as out of pocket, very little. So that's what I've learned, Bub, if that answers the question.
It does. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah, it does answer the question, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. You know, what are the things that have come up to you this year that's different? I mean, most of us, I think, have been collecting for long enough that this year or every year, really, something changes you as a collector, and you realize yet another facet or another strategy or another part of it. You know, for me, this YouTube community was pretty big for me this year. This is the first time, you know, that I had anything like this. And, you know, it has changed so much what I hunt for and how I hunt for things. And even what Roger was talking about, that one video that he's done a couple of them, but when he did one about buying locally, and it hasn't worked for me yet, but I still use it. I still use it all the time. Every time I go to a yard sale, I ask people, what else do you have? I see other things. A big thing in my area is Hot Wheels. People collect a lot of Hot Wheels. And it seems like Hot Wheels collectors and comic collectors, they seem to dabble in each other. So you'll see a bunch of comics, and then they'll have a few Hot Wheels, or they'll have a bunch of Hot Wheels and they have a few comics. So that's a good cross one. Other things are people who have like cups and mugs, collections of cups and mugs that are like character related. And you're like, oh, you like superheroes, you know, well, what else you got? They might have some old figures and things, and I collect some of those.
Yep.
So yeah, I really
exactly that. Yep. Very good.
So I love it. You know, it's really has been really helpful, and I'm glad.
Uh-oh.
It's been huge.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
You broke up a little bit there.
Oh, okay. Well, JPL, what have you got down the line thankful for, and what's kind of learned that you're thankful?
Oh dear, Bob. You broke up then, mate, but I think I got what you said there.
All right.
Okay, right. So, yeah, this year...
Do your best, James.
I'll do my best. This year, I learned that there's people out there who will watch my YouTube videos, and people like me, like you guys. And I learned the value of friendship from you all. And, you know, this community has done so much for me already. You know, it's absolutely amazing. You know, you're all wonderful people. You know, I call you my friends, even though we've never actually met. And it's just, that is one thing I've learned. And it's so good to know there's people like me out there as well, because we're like, you know, I mean, few and far between, you know what I mean? And also I learned that charity shops are a good place to find comic books, because like Roger said, a lot of my comic books I found recently are from my local charity shop, and they had another good find the other day. I managed to find Lucifer issue 1. Oops, move it back a bit, for 99p. So I was like, nice. So yeah. That's what I've learned this year, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, the community aspect, and my answer, that was what I was referring to when I said you can't be, if you want to be successful, you know, you just can't be going at it by yourself, because you're going to waste a lot of time. You know, like I've gotten stuff from the Go-To Geeks and Ray the Silencer Man, you know, that. All I did was, you know, I just asked, right? Hey, can we trade and so forth? And they're like just so willing to help, you know, and I want to help them in return. And that builds community. That brings us closer together. Like you said, there's not that many of us really, when you consider.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think Bueller has 3,000 subscribers, but that's a drop in the bucket when you consider, you know, what the video game people get millions.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's true.
Yeah.
Is Bub back?
Bub?
Hear me?
Live? Bub?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're back.
You worry me, Bub.
I give up.
All right, I'll
hear you then.
I'll jump in and go next with this topic. I think I usually come in pretty good. If there's anybody having any problems hearing me, let me know. But
you're good.
All right, yeah, I'm hardwired in. I don't have any of this fancy high wire Wi-Fi wireless tech. So, yeah, the two things for me this year. Number one, as everybody has already stated so far, is this YouTube community. I wasn't even aware of this before this year, and I think I just started doing videos in February, and I started watching videos on here in like December of last year or January of this year. So I wasn't even aware of this YouTube community. So I've learned about that, and it's had a huge impact on my collecting. And just from a pleasure standpoint, not collecting by myself anymore. I feel like there's a whole bunch of other people that are sharing my collection with me, and I'm sharing theirs and get a lot of good tips and feedback. And it's just, it's been awesome. That's really made it much more a pleasurable and a less lonely hobby. You know, so obviously that's a key thing, and you know, that's huge for everybody who's on this chat probably. The other thing is I've just really learned how to become very patient and disciplined as a collector. Unlike Roger, I don't mind overpaying for books. I'll spend like crazy on books. I have no problem paying for books. I'm not trying to keep the cost down. I don't care about that. If there's books I want that cost money, how I approach that is I'm not trying to find deals necessarily. I'm just very patient. I'm very disciplined. I cut out all the small stuff, the stuff that I really don't love. I don't go after. I don't spend, you know, a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. I save up. I diligently work to flip some books, keep my collection culled down, and then I am disciplined and patient and go after the books that I really want. And that's worked really well this year. A couple years ago, I had thousands and thousands of books. Now I have a couple hundred books, but I'm much happier with my collection. And I've picked up some really huge books this year. And I'm not making, you know, a crazy amount of money at my job or anything. So it's just a matter of patience and discipline, and looking forward and buying books here and there, but bigger books, and really being much more focused in my collecting. So that's the two biggest things for me this year.
Yeah, and you do fund your hobby though, because you do flip books, and you use that money, you reinvest it into your collection.
Yeah, I mean, I flip books, and I try to make a profit, and I've made a pretty good profit on some books this year that I've held for a few years or several years. Sold some this year, but I'll flip books and take that profit, and it sort of makes it easier for me to spend, you know, instead of spending 50 to 100, I'll spend several hundred or even several thousand on books this year, which is crazy. I would have never been able to, or even figured out how to be able to do that a couple of years ago. But I've picked up several books this year that were, you know, over $1,000, and it's amazing to me, and it really confirms that what I've been doing and staying focused and disciplined is working, because I've been able to do that, along with flipping some books to increase my budget.
Yeah, and you've done that better than, you know, than anybody. Well, not anybody, maybe, but you've done that very well. And I'm even though I don't do what you do, I still think that that's awesome myself, because you use your hobby to get the things that you really, really like. Yeah, and when I overpay doing it for profit, you're doing it because that's what you like, and that is admirable to me.
Yeah, when I pick up a book that I overspent on or spent a crazy amount of money on, from my perspective in my little world here of what I have to work with, I always look forward to sharing it with the YouTube community. I text you pictures, Roger and Bub, and I just can't wait to share it. Like even when I'm picking out books, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get this book in my hands so I can show everybody it and share it with the community. And, you know, I text Roger and Bub, I text you guys pictures of stuff before I even post it anywhere else. So
I know. That's cool. Oh, you'll be getting a text from me next week, by the way.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
So I think Klaus is the only one who hasn't chimed in here, right?
Yeah, I'm the last one. But yeah, I mean,
but not the least, Klaus. Not the least. Not even close.
Not the least. Yeah. For me, this is actually the first full year of collecting comics. Even though I've been reading comic books for many years, this is the first year of collecting. So I have learned an awful lot about comic collecting this year, and as everybody's been saying, it's mainly through this community. I've been learning stuff. I've touched on this before, that the way of collecting is very different over here from you guys in the US. So I really have to think about what I get, which comics I get, and if I should look at it the way the first time I went into my local comic shop, contrary to today. I do it very differently, because back then I would basically pick up anything that looked cool, because I thought, well, this is really cool, I want this. But now I sit down every time I get every time there's a new previous catalog, I sit down and go through what do I want, and I pre-order it, so I know I get the ones I want, because I can't always count on my shop getting everything, as we only get a limited amount of books every week. And I'm usually the last one to go in there and pick up books. So so yeah, I mean, through this community, I mean, I see a lot of books, and I see a lot of content about what books are worth getting, what books are really good at the moment, and that I use in conjunction with the previous catalog, and go for what I need for my collection. And that's again touching on the subject that not overspending on comics, because I could easily overspend on comics, because I would love to get everything that there is, but it's very hard to get over here, so I have to go easy on it.
Sure. When you said your comic, I just have a quick question, Klaus. When you said that they don't get every, are you saying that they don't get a lot of them, or they just miss titles altogether?
No, it's a mix of both. The way it works is that when you get into my comic shop, they straight inside the door have not even a short box, but kind of like the same size of a short box, but not really the same size. But that is split up in, I think, 3 or 4 parts. The back part is all the preview catalogs you can look in, and then there's the last 3 weeks of new books. And you can imagine, I mean, with the amount of titles that are out, you could easily fill a short box every week of comic books. So they mainly go for the ones that they know are going to go, like the X-Men titles, the Deadpool for me, and all the DC comics. I mean, Batman, Superman, all those kind of things. Not a lot of independent comics, not a lot of like smaller titles. So that's why you really have to be up on the pre-order to get it, because they can get it for you, but they won't buy everything every week, because they won't get it sold.
Okay. I was just wondering, because the margins, well, at least when I worked, which was back when they had dinosaurs, but when I worked at the comic book shop, the margins were fairly small, so we couldn't have a whole lot of back issue, not go through. Yeah, thank you. So I was just wondering if that was the case there, that they just order people are going to buy, and that's it.
It is kind of like that as well, because when you think about it, I mean, a comic in the US is what is it, $3.99?
Yeah, and
I pay closer to $5 for the same comic over here. So I mean,
wow,
that's the way it is. I mean, it's the price for the shipping, it's the price for getting it over here, it's the price they have to take in consideration that well, they have a shop to run that's got a very limited amount of customers. You don't just get the drop-ins that go in and buy a comic book. You get like the ones that are really collecting over here, going in there buying comic books.
Gotcha.
So that's why they can't take in anything.
Yeah, not a lot of impulse buying there, I'm assuming.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Bob, are you back?
Are there lines outside the comic to get in there? Warning, it's really
he's
packed, like a very small number of people.
I don't know. Something about are there people waiting to get in there? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Not that I know of. I mean, I haven't seen that. I mean, there was some free comic book day, and there is on these special days you get the collectors coming out and showing their support. But normally it's not a lot of people. It's based right in the middle of like one of the huge tourist areas in Stockholm. And you do get the occasional drop-ins, but it's usually just people coming in and going out again after they see, well, they got comic books and they got T-shirts and they got supplies for comic books, and then people turn around and go out again, because
not a lot of milling around in there.
And it's a very small shop, so there isn't that much space for it.
No space for milling around. Okay, gotcha. Because sometimes here, like I'll go in there and I'll chat up the people who are there. But yeah, I get you. Gosh, Bub's not here. Well, if you want to, we can go on to the next topic. I know, unless Bub has something.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't think his audio's not working out, but I'm just sort of listening.
Can anyone hear me at all?
Oh, we heard you then.
Yeah, we can hear you that time.
All right. Well, it's in and out, I guess. Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you want to go to next, Bub?
Well, I'll throw mine in there real quick if you don't care. What I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for functional audio on occasion. I'm thankful for all these books right here. Quick, look. All right. Well, that's all I got.
Actually, we can hear you fine now.
I guess one of the things that I was thankful to learn is funny because ETA Nick really pounds on this. He's put out like 3 videos in a row where he pounds on patience, and he's a big proponent of that. And I think this year, to start the year, I had no patience. And at the end of the year, I have some patience. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate because I've known you for most of the year now. And early in the year, you had absolutely none. And you've become very patient. I would say more than some. You're pretty patient these days.
Yeah, he has. He really has grown patient. You're right, he has. Yeah, he has. At first, when we first started this chat, it was like he was just frantic to get a certain thing. And now he waits, he contemplates, he says, well, that's not a good deal for that grade. Of course, he talks to DS, which is the temperate one here. And so good for you, Bub. Good for you.
I usually tell him one of 2 things. I say, no, you're not going to be in love with that one. Be patient. Wait for the right one. That's usually what I tell him. But the other thing I sometimes tell him is just spend $500 or $600 on it. Just save up and just blow all your money on one book that you want. Just spend it all. That's the other thing I tell him. So
yeah, I prefer that one a little bit. I got to tell you.
Hey, if you want, Deadpool 2323 is posing a question for us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to jump in and ask.
That's where we're going to go. Go ahead, DS. Go ahead.
Oh no, I thought we could all address it, but I'll go ahead and I would. It's interesting he asked that, Deadpool. I'm glad you did because I was just thinking about several books as an investment, and those 4 were on the list I was considering. So I'll go ahead and address that. I think Avengers 4 is probably the worst as an investment on that list. It's not a true first appearance of anybody, and it's not a super early Silver Age. I mean, there's some other ones before it, but it's not a first appearance. It's not a super key. That's how I feel. Oh, wait, he's saying Avengers 4. I thought it was Avengers 1. Okay, Avengers 4 is pretty solid. That's the first Silver Age.
First Silver Age
Captain America, right. Yeah, that's a pretty solid book. I had Avengers 1 on my list. That's good. I mean, it's the first Silver Age appearance. Captain America is pretty popular. That's decent, and Daredevil 1 I think is a good deal. Both of those are decent. Strange Tales 110 I think is the best of the 4 that he listed because I think that is really undervalued for a true first appearance. That is the first appearance of Doctor Strange. It's not first Silver Age. It's not a first team. It's a true first appearance. And that book, I did some research on that last night actually, and it's really undervalued to me. I mean, I'm seeing grades, mid-grade books going for just a couple grand. Now, that's a lot of money, but I mean, when you compare that to like some of the other true first appearances in the Silver Age, like even Journey into Mystery 83, 2.0s are selling for like $3,000. You can get a 2.0 or a 2.5 of Strange Tales 110 for like under $1,000. That's undervalued to me. I think that's the best investment on there. Tales to Astonish 27. I've never been in love with that book. I think it's overvalued in my opinion. It's not Ant-Man. That's the first appearance of Ant-Man, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not a super big character. I don't see that being some great investment down the line. I mean, they're all big keys that he listed, but I would say Strange Tales 110 by far is the best on that list, followed by Daredevil 1, another true first appearance, which I feel is a little undervalued. And then Avengers 4, and I put Tales to Astonish 27 last on that list. So that's just my thoughts on it.
Well, I think your analysis is pretty close. I disagree here a little bit. I think Strange Tales 110, for all the reasons you gave, and because it's still somewhat, people don't talk about it a lot. So that's why I think it's kind of undervalued, DS. It's just, I don't see a lot of people in halls looking for 110s.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I mean, it's a major Silver Age first appearance of a major character.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
so I would agree. That would be number one. To me, the second one would be Tales of Astonish 27. Because it's a very early book. It was a shared title in which the print run was pretty low. And you don't see many of them in good shape because it's kind of that brownish block. The cover's not great. For sure. Not great.
Yeah, same thing with Strange Tales 110. That's what hurts that too.
Yeah. So, but Ant-Man has 2 movies in now. So, more that's one more Daredevil, although the Netflix show, of course. But so to me, that would be number 2. And then I would put Daredevil 1 and then Avengers 4. Now, the only reason I would have for fourth, I think it's very close to Daredevil 1, but because Daredevil 1 is a number 1 issue, collectors naturally gravitate to those kinds of, numerical quantities, that are smaller. So the 1, so that's why I would put that one. But Avengers 4 is an awesome comic, and I mean, Cap, first Silver Age Cap, I think is a huge key. But I think if you're talking about, the question is, which one would you buy for, if you're talking about as an investment, that would be my order. Strange Tales, Tales to Astonish, Daredevil, Avengers 4.
Yeah, and let me quickly just throw in one more thing here, and then we'll move on to other people on the panel here. But people who are over after those books, you'll hear collectors, they want all of the first appearances, all of the number 1 first big premiere issues. They're trying to collect all those firsts as a set. So while they're all really good investments, I think you need to get the ones that are cheapest now before they go up, and the other ones that are already moved up, I think you can save those for a little later. There's no point in scrambling now to get an X-Men number 1. The price on that has shot up over the last couple of years. So if you're trying to collect all those first appearances, all those Silver Age firsts, I think if I were just trying to collect all of them, I would go after Strange Tales 110 and the Daredevil 1 first before they pop. The other ones are already sort of pricey. You already know what you're going to be paying for them. But I think Daredevil 1 has started to move in the last year. Strange Tales 110, it popped a little for the movie when it came out, but that is super affordable if you're the type of collector and you want to collect all those Silver Age firsts. Strange Tales 110 is insanely affordable. I mean, under $1,000, you can get a very good, reasonable copy in like a 2.0.
Yeah. Again, because the cover doesn't really scream, hey, a first appearance or anything. It's just sort of a blah cover. Yeah. I think that's why it's kind of flown under the radar.
I like Daredevil 1. That's my pick. I prefer a true. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I prefer first appearance. I've kind of got a little soured about this Silver Age versus Golden Age first appearance. I kind of like the first Silver Age appearance of. That's kind of like a cop-out to me. Characters change over time all the time. And I get that there is, a significance to this character being the most popular or the most beloved or the truest version of the character. But to me, a first appearance is a first appearance. And I think the Daredevil first appearance is probably a great, I think that's a great example of it. It's a completely different costume. It's not his iconic costume. And yet it's still a first appearance. And it's a number 1 book and a first appearance. And so for that reason, I picked that.
That'd be your number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Yeah.
What's number 2?
JPL and Geeky GMT.
Oh, you're not gonna rank the other ones. You're just going to the.
No. He had said, which one should I get?
Oh, okay.
I think that was the question. That was the.
We're overachievers.
I just did the assignment.
We're overachievers over here.
I can give my view on it because I'm not really interested in any of the books because, they just don't really interest me. But I think the one I would go for is the Strange Tales because I think that Marvel in context of movies, they've still got a lot to show for Doctor Strange. And I think that, well, if they do more with him, and let's see what happens after the next Avengers movie. But yeah, I think he's got a lot to give still, and I think that could work.
That's a good answer.
How about JPL? What do you think?
JPL?
First of all, that's the cover everyone was on about. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, there it is.
Tales 110.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's in my Doctor Strange Epic collection that I bought a few weeks ago. But come on, guys, you know me. You know what the answer is going to be. I'm a DC
Daredevil
guy.
#1.
Daredevil #1 because Daredevil's my favorite Marvel guy. That's the only book I'm interested. Yeah, I'm a DC guy, but Daredevil is my Marvel heart. It's always Daredevil.
Nice.
Pure and simple.
I like how your Marvel heart is blind.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
Blind to the love of DC.
Let me tell you how undervalued Strange Tales 110 is. Somebody, I think, a couple people in the chat are mentioning Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer's first appearance is actually pricier than Doctor Strange's first appearance.
Wow.
Yeah, Fantastic Four 48 is pricier per grade than a Strange Tales 110. Well, I mean, it's getting there. It's right about the same right now, and pretty soon it'll probably pass it because it's still going up. And that's just Strange Tales 110 is an early, big character, but yeah, the cover. But I mean, you know, that's such a major Silver Age key that I wouldn't shy away from it for the cover. But I mean, I think that is probably part of what hurts it. But
isn't that first appearance of Silver Surfer also Galactus though? Isn't that also the first full of Galactus?
I think it's the first. Is it the first full Galactus or Galactus cameo? I'm not sure.
No, Galactus cameo comes just before it. I think this.
That is the first Galactus. I'm not sure. You could consider it a cameo, but I think it's considered his first full.
Well, I mean, I just think that helps to bump that one in value. I think, you know, it's not just that it's a Silver Surfer. There's a lot of Galactus fans out there, too. And I think that helps edge it over.
Yeah, I mean, Strange Tales 110 has got the first, also, not only Doctor Strange first appearance, but it's the first Paste Pot Pete and a Wizard team up or something also. So there you go, Bub.
Well, you've got me sold. I'll let you buy it for me for Christmas.
Didn't JD just pick that one up the other day too? I think I saw it in his live stream that he said, "Oh, first Paste Pot Pete," and I'm like, "Okay."
Paste Pot Pete's got like a sort of a cult following because he was in the Frightful 4 or Frightful 5. I can't never remember.
Frightful
if it's 4.
Frightful 4.
Okay, yeah. But he was in the Frightful 4 with Medusa and Sandman and I can't even remember, but
the Wizard.
Okay, yeah. So that little team and those characters have some cult followings. There's a lot of Paste Pot Pete fans out there. So
wow,
you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are.
I thought the character is weak as heck. In fact, later on, they changed his name to the Trapster because he was a laughing stock. Everybody was like, Pete, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out. The first appearance of that team is like Fantastic Four 36 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
That's an awesome cover, and I think that's an undervalued sort of first appearance of that team, and it's the first overall for Medusa also. Yeah. And it might be, I can't remember, one of the other team members, I think, but yeah, I mean, I think there's some cult followings to some of these lesser villains and teams out there. So, yeah.
Deadpool 23 says we sold him, or you sold him.
Good.
He's gonna find a Strange Tales 110.
Well, if he can find a 2.5 for that, if he's patient and looks around, he can probably find a nice 2.5 for like $1,000 or just under. I'm not even kidding. It's insane to me. It's that cheap.
Yeah, Silver Age Dave is in the house, and he says, "Let's give her 18 thumbs up." Yeah, and let's sub everybody up in the chat as usual, guys, so we can all look to support each other here. Let's see if there's anybody here I have not subscribed to. Eddie, the comic guy. I think I'm subbed to him. Let me see.
Yeah, and AG Surfer is right. Fantastic 448 cover is fire. That's a hot cover. So
that's the one with Watcher, the Watcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ugliest covers that everyone wants to own.
Yeah, I heard you say that on a video recently, and I think you're the first one I've heard say they don't like that cover. But I like it. I think it's
well, I
cool.
mean, the value is not of a Watcher appearance. The value of the book is with Silver Surfer and Galactus, neither of which are on the cover. And then also, I mean, there's writing of the cover, but visual appearance. And then also, I think the Watcher is one of the ugliest looking beings in the galaxy.
I like the Watcher.
Hideous. And it's like an upskirt shot of the Watcher. See that? So,
hey, some of us are balding, Bub. Okay, bald is beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, and
I know. Hey, I'm right there. It's all good. I'm
first Watcher
sitting here eating my cookie dough. I'm sure it's not going to help, but oh well.
Yeah, I think the Watcher's cool, and his first appearance is like Fantastic Four 13 or something. That I think is undervalued also. Yeah, I like the Watcher. I think he's cool. But yeah, Roger, I mean, when you get up there in age and you start getting that receding hairline, you start to relate to the Watcher a little more. Bub's not there yet, so give him another 10, 15 years.
I wish I knew how young you guys think I am. Like, how young do you think I am? Because I promise you, I'm not that young.
Yeah,
I got all the same problems you got. I just wear it better.
Yeah, well, you sound like a youngster. Matt, the boy who had 7, he said, yeah, he's another bald. Bald is beautiful. You got it, Matt. You got it 100%, buddy. That smile of yours is worth $100 right off the top.
Roger, if you had 7 kids, you'd have pulled all your hair out too.
Well, that's a good point. Good point. Good point. Absolutely. Okay, Bub, 100% on that one. You're absolutely right. I'll stick with the ones I got, and that's it.
I tell you, one of the most amazing things in Boy Who Had 7's videos is if you every now and then you'll catch the glimpse that he's not like in a comic room. He's like in a comic nook. Like it's a nook. It's like the stairs are right there. There are kids running up and down. And the value of the books he has just casually displayed, it's like scares the crap out of me, man. I would have my comic room if I still had a little one in the house. My son's older now, but if I had a little one in the house, I'd have it locked. I'd have like child gates. I'd have like bear traps or something.
You sound like yes.
I'm just waiting for like run down to the chocolate milk. Oh God.
No, but his family is awesome, man. You know, they are. He just had a great go with his son, and you know his reflections on Lee. That's great, man. Matt's got an awesome family, awesome channel. God bless you, buddy.
That is awesome. Let's talk a little bit. Is everybody still here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about our hunting schedules and hunting strategies. And I'll start off just so you get an idea what I'm looking for. When I go, for instance, I used to go every Wednesday, of course, to the local comic shop, right? See what new books were out, even though I don't pick up too many of them. And then I would go to the Peddler's Mall that night to finish scratching the itch for whatever was left, right? Then on Monday nights, I usually am big on eBay auctions on Monday nights and Friday nights. And I do, it seems like most of the better auctions are starting or ending Friday or starting or ending Monday. And then during the week, I do Facebook auctions. And I pull books off like reply auctions on Facebook. So that's kind of how my schedule is currently for picking up books. So what's your schedule, the wheres and the whens for your comic hunts? Let's see. We'll start with DS. We haven't heard you in 5 minutes. Let's hear what you have to say.
All right, get me out of the way, and then we can go on to the people who actually physically do hunt for books. Yeah, my hunting schedule is I essentially look forward to every month when Comic Link and Comic Connect have their monthly auctions, and when the bidding opens on that, that's a huge comic quote hunting day for me. That's the night when the auction opens and you can start placing bids. And I go through and place all the items I'm going to watch or bid on, and I get that together, and I keep track of those in the auctions. Other than that, I'm just obsessively searching eBay and some other seller sites online, and I have a bookmark. I bookmark things that I'm interested in getting, and I rank them, and I usually buy everything online these days. Yeah, so I don't go to any comic shops. I don't search out garage sales, or sometimes I hit thrift stores, but I've exhausted those for a while. So yeah, my hunting is mostly online. I like the auction sites, Comic Link and Comic Connect, and eBay. I use eBay a lot. I think eBay is the biggest marketplace for comics in the world by far. There's a lot of quality stuff on there. I mean, I find a lot of good books on eBay. So that's my hunting. It's all pretty much done from the comforts of my home.
Well, I know JPL Flash he's had some Eagle Moss trouble with his pre-orders and his book ordering. So, and I love one of the phrases he says. He'll say, "If you want one of these, contact your local news agent." That's one of my favorite phrases of his. Because I'm always thinking, what? I have a local news agent. I got to find this guy. JPL, what do you do? What's your little schedule for the week? How do you hunt down books? Either online or, in your street clothes.
In my street clothes. All right, I like that. Whenever I'm at university, I love this. After university, I always go to them charity shops to look for the bargains that I keep finding. So I'm always, after university, straight to that shop, straight to the LCS for their bargain bin, see what I can find in there. As you've seen a few times, I've been quite lucky with the 99p finds. And I also have like a list of like DC keys I want and a few Daredevil. So every now and then on eBay, I'll just search for them. Like if I've got random 5 minutes, I'll see if I can find, anybody selling them off for a cheaper than normal price, shall we say. That's how I found that Fantastic Four haul, if you remember that, which was an absolute steal.
Oh, yeah.
And other than that, that's pretty much what I do. Just shop around.
That's pretty good.
I mean, York in England is, I found some good stuff there. And even when I was in Edinburgh on holiday, some of the bargain bin finds I've got there was insane. I picked up so many of 52 week 7 for £1 each. It was crazy.
Hey JPL,
awesome.
Do you ever look into that? There's a UK seller called Silveracre. Is that located anywhere near you?
I forgot about that. No, they're not. But I actually use them as well.
I don't know. They have I've seen pictures of their warehouse. It looks like the type of place in America when you have warehouses like that you can make an appointment to go through and just sort of hunt for books inside the warehouse. I don't know if Silveracre is someplace that does that, but there's a lot of places in the States that do that. So I don't know how far it is.
They do that. Yeah, I think it's down south somewhere from me because I'm in the north of England. But yeah, they look like the Mile High Comics of England, don't they? It's insane. I've bought off them a few times. I actually got my Daredevil 181 from them, and it was an absolute steal, cheaper than eBay, a lot cheaper.
I love UK sellers like that because on eBay, they don't have the same categories that we have when we list something, so they have to pick something else. It's usually like books, US books, a certain era of books. So they don't come up on searches here under our categories, so you have to go find them differently. So there's some hidden gems. And also the market here on some books, especially like Golden Age Horror or some Silver Age keys, they move quick here up and down. And it doesn't seem like a lot of these UK sellers keep up with that as well. It takes some time for them to catch up on a price, and you can score some really good deals on some hot books from UK sellers like Silveracre. Yeah,
they've got such a good website as well, Silveracre. Really good. Really great shop.
I need to check that site.
Totally recommend it, Klaus. Awesome.
Yeah, that's got to be cheaper shipping to Sweden from there than it is from the United States too. Yeah, by far. Yeah.
Yeah, Gray Man in the chat is talking about that he uses My Comic Shop in the U.S., so the mycomicshop.com in the U.S., and I can verify, as JPL Flash can attest to, they will ship to England for only like $10. You can get like 10 books shipped to England. JPL, you want to tell them how that?
Oh, this is brilliant. So I got home from work one day, and I get home from work really late, like 8 o'clock at night. And I saw this pass on the phone. I looked at it. I said to Meg, I was like, I ain't ordered anything comic book wise. This is from my comic book shop. So I opened it thinking, maybe it's an A-OK from someone. So I opened it up and I'm looking for these comic books and I'm like, no, because there's random things like issue 4 of something. And then I saw what was it? Is it Cave Woman you collect? I saw an issue of that and I was like, oh, I know what this is. So I sent a photo to Bub showing the invoice. I was like, are these for me?
Yeah, that's my pre-order to JPL Flash. So I was looking at, I've recently got close to 400 subscribers. I think I'm over 400 subscribers, and I was going to 400 subscriber giveaway, and my last one I had internationally, and maybe I did, I don't remember, but I really wanted to make sure it was to anyone, you know, on planet Earth, right? So I was just checking out. I had JPL Flash. I sent him a couple of AOKs, and he had bought some books off me a couple times. So I had his address. So I just plugged it in to see what the shipping cost would be to send any number of books to him. So I kind of was moving in and out of my shopping cart, checking different books, seeing how heavy I could get it, and how much it would cost to ship. Never shipped him anything from there. And I guess they had some sort of glitch, and they ended up shipping my pre-orders to him somehow. And so he opens up his package. There's a big naked cave woman staring at him.
Meg saw that comic and she was like, oh, boobs. I was like, oh, yeah, look. I don't think this is for me.
So Bob was almost responsible for you not getting married there, Dave. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, it was so funny.
Did she? Oh, I'm not enough for you, is what she's saying.
Yeah, I collect comics like this, Meg.
Yeah,
This is what you really collect?
Yeah. If I say I collect comic books, I collect these.
Oh,
I apologize for that. It was unintentional. But yeah, so mycomicshop.com will ship just about anything, apparently, overseas.
It was a trial run.
It was a trial run, yeah. About a buck a comic is what they charge, so it's not bad. I think what they do is it's $5 a pound, so in weight. So I don't know what that is in grams or sand or whatever you guys measure in over there.
Sand?
granules.
It's like ancient Sumerians
say-
measuring things in sand.
I say, get out the sand. We are waiting some comic books to buy.
What, you think there's a scale, and then you put the sand over here, or whatever? If they equal it out over here,
The Queen sat there. Philip, bring out the sand. I'm ordering from mycomicbookshop.com.
oh my gosh.
Oh boy. So yeah, who are we up to? Let's see. We know what DS Comics does. He stays in his knickers. Metarog works the yard sales. Or did we talk to? Yeah, Roger, we heard from you, didn't we?
Well, not specifically, but I've said it before. My favorite place to shop is Deadpool 2323's house. That's, you never miss it. Because I tell you, the man, I mean, he's friendly. I mean, he offers you drinks, the whole bit, I mean, that's where you want to go. So that would be my favorite place to shop. But yeah, estate sales have been pretty good to me over the past years. I found some really good keys and some really good fillers for me, and promo comics, the whole bit, variants. So that's, to me, that's my kind of my bread and butter. But I found that you can find good stuff, even like through Craigslist. I've had a few good hauls there, and also through the other apps like OfferUp and what's that other one?
Craigslist.
Let Go?
And Let Go, I found a few. To me, you just have to diversify. Every rock you can is because you never know when that next good haul or next haul, like Deadpool 2323. I think Comics Addiction had a haul at a shop, a couple you just never know to hit everywhere because you just never know. Big score, it could be around the corner.
And we don't get any. Where I live is a real small area. It's a real tiny town, and we don't. All those apps, they don't work here. Like you go to OfferUp and it's like someone's offering you a ride out of town. And that's all you can get. Because Craigslist is just some dude named Craig and he lives like 6 towns over and you can't get anything he's got, you know. It's just there's nothing. All those apps do nothing in like the rural communities. They're all useless. It's eBay or it's nothing when it comes to that kind of stuff. A little bit of Facebook, but even then, you know, you have to drive an hour to go look at some dude's crappy 90s comics, you know, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's always the downside. That, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be worth their while. But that one could be the big one, you know. Oh, Kurt, Joker68 is in the house, and he's asking. I guess you, James. What shipping service is to use to ship to the UK?
That's interesting because usually when I get AOKs and things, it's always United States Postal Service.
USPS?
Yeah, USPS. And when I send to America, I always use Royal Mail, which is our standard mail delivery service. So
there's no secret, super secret, you know.
Not that I know of.
Doing it.
I'll tell you, I recently bought a pretty big book from a seller in the UK, and he sent it FedEx, and it wasn't cheap. But for the type of book it was worth it. But the point is that service only took, like, I got it in 4 days. So, wow. You know, if you're looking for speed, I mean, a couple times, and this last time the UK seller used FedEx, I got it in 4 days, which was insanely fast. Yeah.
Wow.
And the longest time it took was when it was clearing customs, I guess. So I don't know. It was super quick.
Well, did your neighbor get it in 3 days?
No, that only happened once, and I still have shell shock from that.
The package I sent JPL, first class international, I think it got there in 4 days also.
Yeah, I've had parcels come really quick from a lot of American guys in the community, like Go To Geeks. I've had parcels come in like 5 days from Lawrence. Well, it's crazy.
Wow.
Guys, we got 25 people in the chat. I think that's a new record for us.
Cool. I'm still waiting for pre-orders to come back from the UK. They better all be in pristine condition when I get them. They're on their way.
Those got lost in the post, buddy.
At least one.
I paid in sand.
Cave woman.
I paid in sand.
Cave woman better be in there.
Oh boy!
I had to wait.
I was gonna let him keep them. Keep them. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'll just let him have them because the cost of shipping back, and I gotta reimburse all that. I was like, I'll just let him keep them. But that cave woman was like, I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to get another one of those. So I was like, I better send them back.
Oh, the boobs.
Yes, technically they're.
Oh my god.
So did
what do you say?
We've gone down now again. It
happens.
We've hit the bottom of the barrel again.
Did we hear from Klaus as far as like?
No, we haven't.
We didn't hear from Klaus.
No, we haven't.
And he had that great flea market find.
Did I?
What you got, Klaus? What's your little schedule for hunt?
Well, I try to go to my comic shop only once a month, and that's usually the week I get paid. I go and pick up my my subscriptions, and it's to avoid this thing with just spending money without a reason, just buying stuff to buy stuff. I only go there like once a month to pick up stuff, unless they have some special event going on. And again, because they don't really have anything back issue wise to go through that. I mean, they don't add to it in any way. It's the same thing. I mean, the ones I'm looking for is a certain volume of Deadpool, and every time I look through, it's the same comics they have. So, and it's been like that for over a year. So I've stopped going like regularly. I just go once a month. The other weeks, mainly the weeks when I don't have my kids, which I have every second week, I go to this place I found with secondhand comics. It's a small record shop that has like 3 or 4 boxes of comic books, and they got really good stuff when it comes to American comics, which none of my other what do you call it, second-hand shops has. None of I mean everything over here when it comes to second-hand comics is Donald Duck or it's the Phantom, because that's the huge thing here in Sweden. But this guy, he has American comics as well, and he gets in new stuff regularly. So I go there the other weeks to see if he has anything. But that's about all I do. Flea markets is again it's just Phantom and it's Donald Duck, except for that one time when I found a load of Hulk and what was it, Hulk and
I think you found Dracula and She-Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, Dracula and She-Hulk, yeah.
Yeah, those were awesome. I love those kind of compilation comics where they have several issues all together that you found.
Yeah, I think I actually have them lying around here.
So where did you get like that Spider-Man, that Spider-Man 252 print? That's in Sweden. Where'd you pick that up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I picked that up. I mean, eBay has got a Swedish site called something else. I'm not going to try and pronounce it for you guys, but they got a Swedish eBay over here, and you can find comic books on there. But as I said, if you want American comics, you really have to pay the price, because the people who's got it, they know what it's worth. So you can't make any good deals on there. But the Swedish reprint of Spider-Man 252 I found on there, and I got it for like $1. So,
wow,
nice.
But it's because I mean the Swedish ones, the Swedish people don't collect the same way that I would say we do. I mean, because when you buy stuff like that, I mean the 252 I got in just like a normal envelope. Almost like a padded envelope, no bag, no board, no anything, just a padded envelope with the comic in. And I was scared to open it when I got it, but it's still in decent condition.
I've gotten a few like that too, Klaus. Let me just tell you, even here in America, I've gotten some very flimsy packaging.
Do you watch Comic Vantage's videos? Oh, some of the packages he gets.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I follow a few groups on Facebook as well where I look for comic books, and they show off pictures of packages they get, and it's a nightmare sometimes.
Well, it's not just the comics too. Like I ordered like 5 top of today, and one like all the way in half, and they just put it in like a bubble mailer. I was like, well, how do you do that? You know, I mean, it's a pretty decent sized package for just a bubble mailer. I think people just don't care half the time, as long as it's the cheapest and easiest way they can ship it, and they'll send it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, I think we've done it again. Particularly good hour. I can tell you the first 10 minutes of it, stuff I was saying, but let me tell you, it was great. It was great.
Notice we had the biggest chat ever when you were, tongue-tied there a bit for a while.
I knew you could keep it going. I think some kind of device on my laptop messing with the signal.
Yeah, I mean, just give Roger a subject and he'll speak for half an hour while you.
I know.
Yeah, I can do a monologue. I can do a soliloquy, whatever you need. I can do a
soliloquy.
Ooh, I like a soliloquy.
I can do whatever needs to be done.
Nice. How about a haiku? You got any of those in your back pocket?
Well, you got to give me a couple minutes for that one.
How big's your back pocket?
Well, that's about the same size as my front pocket, I guess.
Well, congratulations.
My daughter, they're both empty. Let's put it that way. My daughter's the big Japanese culture person in our family, so she could come up with one like lickety split.
Oh, that's cool.
But me, not so much. Oh yeah, I love those comics, Klaus. I really do.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Miss Hulk.
Yeah.
Miss Hulk.
Not She-Hulk, Miss Hulk.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
Wow. Yeah, I love those little nuanced differences that they have, in other countries.
Is it Spindleman, Klaus?
Yeah,
did I say that right? Yeah. I liked that one. That's Spindleman.
I don't have that one near me at the moment, but yeah, it is Spindleman over here in Sweden.
Yeah, I see there's a, I don't know if it's Swedish or Finnish, Batman one over there, which is
Leatherlappen.
Yeah. I see a lot of those on eBay. Yeah, they look really cool. The covers are slightly different. The background colors are a little different. They have some different illustrations on the covers, and it's really cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you have the Finnish Spider-Man Hemihekimis.
That's awesome. I have a video coming out probably tomorrow, but I'll just go ahead and show you now some of the things just in what we were talking about. So these are comics from Mexico, and these are they did like a 3-pack of appearances. So they have like a Venom version, a Deadpool version, a Wolverine version, Hulk, and they come in 3 packs, and they're foilized covers. So I don't know if I can catch the light just right, but basically they're very bright. Basically the claws are foil. And but what I like about them is it's like the opposite of what you guys were just talking about, and that's that they are it's an English or American or whatever you want to call it cover, but the interior all the text is changed into Spanish. But on most of the foreign country reprints, they will change the wording on the covers, as we were just talking about. But this is a pretty amazing set. And then it's an all foil. Well, the claws are foil, the chains are foil, and where it says "and now the Wolverine." And these come in 3 sets, and you can pick them up pretty cheap. If you get them slabbed, they're expensive, but if you get them raw, like these were all raw, brand new. And that's as close as I've come to a giant size X-Men this year. So, but those are all going up in my office tomorrow, so I thought I'd show them to you real quick. I'm gonna expand. No, I mean like my office at work. I'm going to bring comics into the office for the first time. So I don't know how well that's going to go over. But since I have a lot of Hispanic clients and a lot of Mexican clients, then I thought maybe they would appreciate it some. If they start getting into a big conversation, I won't know what they're saying, but but we'll see how it goes.
Mexican comics in the 70s and 80s are very interesting because they had new stories from Marvel characters that
I didn't know that.
They never appeared in the U.S. Yeah, some of them quite risque, by the way.
Oh, my favorite.
Well, of course, I forgot who I'm talking to here.
I love those.
But I'm going to see if I can find some. I used to have some, and I'll show them next week or sometime.
Nice. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Sorry to take up that last bit, but yeah, we'll wrap it up, and we will just go one by one. Let's see. I'm going to go down the row as I see it. So that will be starting with Klaus, and we'll all say goodbye. And if anyone has any catchphrases that they use at the end of their videos, like I think JPL, don't you say thanks and bye for now or something close to that?
Yeah.
And I know DS Comics says do your homework. So if anyone has anything, at the end of their videos, feel free to shout it out. We'll start off with you, Klaus. Say goodbye.
All right, it was great to join once again. I got the mail pretty late, so I only slept a few hours, and then I got up again, and I'm gonna go back to sleep now. But it was fun being back again, and as I usually say, read some really cool comic books, and I'll see you later.
Thanks for staying up
or
getting back up.
Yeah, thank you. All right, DS, you're up.
All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm out.
And
Actually went.
He's classic, man. Man, he loves it.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's so good.
Oh man.
Oh wow. That's brilliant.
He yanks that cord, man. Let me tell you something. If I'm ever like on my deathbed, don't put him in charge of pulling the plug, because they're gonna be like, well, I don't know. He might could live, and sorry.
He missed the beat.
He's out.
All right, JPL, sign off.
Oh, thank you for having me once again, Bob. It's always a pleasure joining you guys. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks. Thank you so much. And you're up, Roger.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone in the U.S. Everybody else, have a great week and a great holiday season. Thanks to JPL, Klaus for joining us. Had a blast. And thank you, Bub, for being mute for part of the chat. And everybody be blessed and be back.
Thank you, Roger. And I'll just tell you for joining us on the No Faces Comic Chat. And we'll catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And read a comic. Thanks. Bye.